Hello, this is Dr. Praveen Tripathi, and with me is the legend himself, Dr. Gobind Rai Garg, sir.
Hello everyone.
So, students, this video is for the aspirants who are targeting the FMGE exam June 26. We know that the January exam is yet to happen, but we were getting many queries from students who are doing internship or who are starting with the preparation that what do they have to do till the exam gets over and the results get announced. So, we are starting with a new batch, and this batch would start from 18th of January, even before the results are out, so that the students who are starting their preparation early can start studying. So, Goga sir, this is a very important thing. In the last, I believe, 2 to 3 years of FMG examination, we have seen that patterns are changing, sir.
Yes.
Exams are getting tougher. So there was a time when we would say that FMG exam is, say, 70% as difficult as NEET PG exam. But nowadays, I think there is no difference.
Yeah, they are head to head.
Head to head. In fact, sir, there were some questions in the FMG exams which are tougher than the NEET PG exam.
Yes.
So, sir, gone are the days when the exams used to be simpler. They are tougher. They are more clinical. And that is why, sir, this point.
Yes.
Conceptual learning is becoming important. The older way of studying, doing a book with all the MCQs, PYQs is not working anymore. Last time, the pass rate was around 20%, and 80% of the students could unfortunately not clear the exam. And many of the students who are still following the older ways of studying are finding it even more difficult. In fact, the newer students, interns, are doing better because they are following the new pattern. So this is something that you'll have to keep in mind. Kuga sir, students sometimes get only 5-6 months to clear the exam. But sir, this is important. You always talk about it, sir. So what is the reason?
I always keep on saying that instead of studying 10,000 things once, it is always better to study 1,000 things 10 times. So whatever you are able to remember and answer in the actual exam, that is useful. There is no point that you have studied so many things but are not able to recall during the exam. And you can recall only if you have revised. So that's why we will always advise you, maybe you study little lesser, but study that which you can revise.
The key point here is little. If you study too less and hope that everything would get covered, you would not be able to answer this clinical question. If you study a lot, main videos, maybe you will not get time to revise. That is why the optimal study material is the need of the hour. In the past, students sometimes would say that I am leaving 3 subjects, 4 subjects. Sometimes they would leave short subjects. That doesn't work anymore. Say I teach a short subject psychiatry. Consistently, FMG examination is asking 6 to 7 questions from psychiatry, out of which 4 questions are more straightforward. You cannot miss these easy questions, not from even a single subject. So you have to complete all the subjects. At least the easy to moderate question you should get all correct. Only then we can hope of getting a score around 180 or 200. Kuka sir, PYQ repeats are becoming lesser and lesser.
So that is a even bigger problem with the FMG students, because they think that similar type of 3 or 4 words are given and they already think that that was the PYQ, this should be the answer.
Yeah.
They are changing, doing minor subtle changes and the answers are changing. So I always keep on saying कि MCQ को ध्यान से पढ़ना है कि चलो पूजा करते हैं या फिर चलो पूजा करते हैं, मतलब चेंज हो जाता है. So this is they are actually doing. So in this exam also, I have seen some questions in which they have just changed few terms and the answer changed. And the student thought that it was a PYQ, but it was not PYQ. It was something else from the
modified PYQ. Yeah. So the questions are asking for deeper knowledge. Similar question, but they go more in depth. Goga sir was just saying that earlier also they would ask TB, now also they would ask TB. But gone are the days when they would ask simply HRZES, right? Now they would go inside and ask you a question, a more clinical question. So deeper understanding is important. Goga sir, finally MCQ needs to be solved.
Yeah. So that's the obvious thing. We always keep on saying that final exam is MCQ exam. And you may have very good clinical knowledge. You may have studied thoroughly the notes several times. You may even know books also. But while solving MCQ, if it is not correct, all that will become waste.
Right.
So you can get the art of solving MCQ by solving MCQ only. When you solve 100 MCQ, you will come to know that how to solve a particular MCQ. Out of that, there must be 10 to 20 MCQs out of 100, which you can solve even without knowing too much about that topic. Because you need to know which options you can easily rule out, that these cannot be the answer. So that will come by practice only.
All right. Mission 200%. Now we would be starting with our 6th batch. And sir, I think one of our most successful programs. We have 30x increase in the number of students when we started. Yeah. So there's a reason why Mission 200 is doing so good. It's a structured program. Goga sir just said that revision is important. The program has been designed in such a way that you complete at least three revisions. Most of the students end up doing 4 revisions. Why? During the first revision, they study with us, and in the daytime, they study themselves. So I'll talk about lab 1, lab 2, but they're going to the examination hall with 4 revisions. And that is why it is working so well.
So basically, why it is working, what I feel is FMG students are usually lost because they have done MBBS from a different country where the scenarios in Indian scenario are not matching that much, and there is not too much guidance because most of the time they will tend to study bulky things. Everyone keep on saying that FMG exam is very difficult. You should know this, you should know that, you should know. So in the end, he get confused and he has so much to do. Okay? So why mission is successful is we have hold their hand. And we are telling you that this day you will need to study this, next day you will study this, next day you study this. All that is doable. So we are not saying you to study 14 hours, 16 hours a day. We are saying that study consistently, and we have given you the time frame that in this time frame you have to do this much, and that you can do. So that's why students are doing and they are getting good results. So
students, as you can see, Goga sir is repeatedly talking about one thing, that too much of study is not working, too less of study is not working. Optimal is the word. Now, what Goga sir did, he said that, okay, let's start mission 200 plus. Now, Goga sir told me that, Praveen, you get 2 days only for psychiatry. He gave me 5 hours per day and gave me 2 days. So, I have gotten out 10 hours. Now, the onus is on me that I have to complete psychiatry in such a way that it takes only 10 hours or 11 hours so that you can revise. At the same time, as a teacher, I want to have my strike rate above 90%. So, rather than students finalizing what they have to study, he has made the onus on us. And this is true for all the subjects. So this is the beautiful thing about live online classes. All of us have been given days by Goga sir. Sir takes say 4 days, I am given 2 days, medicine has been given 7 days. But we have to complete our course in those days. We have to ensure that our strike rate is at least 85 to 90%. And this method ensures that we have enough time left for revision. So that is why it is working so beautifully. Goga sir, if some student is not able to follow the online class, live class, because he is in China or Ukraine or Russia, then what?
So basically, we always advise to follow the live classes. The reason being that you are sitting in front of a teacher, so more likely you will get absorbed the things. But unfortunately, due to any reason, if you are not able to follow any class or sometime you miss some classes, then you will get the recorded videos of that class, so you can utilize that whenever you have free time.
So many students follow live, some because of time difference usually watch the videos recorded. So these live classes ensure that you have fundamentals clear, they build concepts and of course facts. PYQ solving habit, it's extremely important. One of the reasons for Mission 200 plus success is this also. Every day after the class in the app, you see Late Night PYQ. It's a test which consists of PYQs from the same topics that were covered, grossly the same topics, and you have to do it late at night when you're already tired. So students from the day one know what kind of questions are being asked and their revision becomes better. Even in the class, they have better understanding what to focus on and what can be low yield.
So incidentally, we have kept the name Late Night PYQs. Yeah. So many of the students think that it's late night, so something must be interesting. So they're doing that. So that's one thing that is
added advantage. Yeah. So, but students, discipline of solving MCQs daily is very important. We try to keep Late Night PYQs 50, not more than that 30, 40, 50, and it works like a charm. Goga sir, sometimes students ask why in FMG we don't give midday modules. Students, it's not that we want to stop you from solving midday module. In NEET PG in ICT, a student gets 1 year to study. Here we have like 5 months. So we have to cut down on certain things. Don't go into FOMO. If you want to do midday module, you can do it. In the app, the facility is there. But focus on late night PYQs. We have half the time. We have to use that time in an optimal manner, in a manner that maximizes our returns. But there is something called as midday module. What it is? It is basically a test given by the teacher from the QBank. Like we asked Goga sir that, sir, you have thousands of questions in pharma. Give us 200 questions because students can't do 100,000 questions. So he gave us 200 questions. They became the midday module of pharma from the QBank.
In simple language, I will say it is a custom modules made by the teacher.
Made by the teacher. But you can safely not do it and still you would not lose anything. If you are studying very hard, you can of course do it. Goga sir, E&Ds are very famous. The test and discussion, the live test and discussion. Sir, what exactly happens in E&Ds and why students love it so much?
So basically, after completing any subject, the live classes, the student has to attempt a test. So we will give 60 to 100 questions depending upon the subject. So you need to solve that test. But after that, the teacher will discuss each question. So this is very high yield because within 3 to 4 hours, the teacher will discuss all the questions and they will tell you how to rule out the options, how a particular answer has been achieved, and in which manner you need to think. Many times students some mark the answer correctly, but by some other logic. And in actual exam, if slightly twisted, that logic will not work.
Right.
So teacher will tell you, this is the logic, how you need to think, and that's why this answer is there. So that will clarify a lot of more concepts which you have studied earlier. And plus, very high chances that you can answer many questions in the actual exam.
Sir, marathon we will talk about in the next slide. Sir, GTs. Sir, you always tell students something about GTs, sir.
So grant tests are very, very important. There are many advantages of grant test. The student think only about one, that is they will get assessment where they are standing. And I think that is the least important advantage.
Right.
So grant test, the first and the most important advantage is they make you practice sitting for 3.5 hours continuously, which is not possible if you do first time. Like if you do not give any GT and directly go to actual exam, where you have 2 sessions of 3 hours. So within 1 hour, 1.5 hour, 2 hours, your brain will start tiring. So last 50 questions, 30 questions, you will not be answering correctly because you are tired, brain is tired. Even easy questions get wrong. That's why after coming back from the exam, you say, I have done silly mistakes. Remember, no mistake is silly. Mistake is a mistake that is costing you marks. So if you keep on giving GTs, your brain get tuned that I have to sit for 3 hours, I have to sit for 3 hours, I have to sit for 3 hours. When you have given 15, 20 GTs, now your brain is accustomed, you will not make silly mistakes, number one. Number two, when you make any mistake in the grant test, you make a question wrong. Now you see the answer why it is wrong. So that will be imprinted in your brain that I have done this mistake. In next GT, you will not do that mistake. And in actual exam also, you will remember that this is the mistake I made. So you will not make in the actual exam. So many students, they stop giving GTs or do not give GT thinking that they will get less marks. So they will get disappointed and they think that my study is not good enough. But I will always keep on saying that even if you get 10 marks in GT, you should give GT, because more mistakes you make in GT, the lesser mistakes you will make in actual exam. तो जितनी गलतियां करनी है यही कर लो ना यार. GT में नंबर लगा के क्या करना है? गर्लफ्रेंड को कितना इंप्रेस कर लोगे, है ना? एक्चुअल एग्जाम से होगी वो इंप्रेस, है ना, जब आप पास कर लोगे. That is very important.
And of course, it's an assessment tool, but as Goga sir said, that is the least important part. The 2 more important parts are just discussed. Students, taking the preparation to last day. Now, this is something that probably I keep on saying throughout the year. If you can continue studying till the last day, 80% of the battle is won. Remember, all of us get some setbacks. There would be days when you struggle to study. There would be subjects in which you will struggle to understand, but that's a part and parcel of the game. We have to keep pushing. We have to keep pushing. This is the Dhoni way of passing the exams. Remember when Dhoni was captain of ODI, in many matches, difficult matches, he will continue to play. The run rate would keep on going higher and higher, and finally, in 80% of the cases, he would manage to win the game for the country.
So this is exactly what happened the last Sunday only. So we had a cricket match. The opposition scored 185 something old in 20 overs. So I was batting right from the opening. So our score was not very much. So I was playing maybe run a ball, maybe little more than run a ball. So at the end, we required 57 runs from 4 overs. And we won on the last one. So I scored 96 not out. So that is the thing. We had taken the preparation till the last ball. So if you are going till last time, you have very high chances of getting successful.
So let me not call it Dhoni way, then let's call it GRG way. He is our Dhoni, right? So, but I hope you understood the lesson. When you take things to the last day, half or 80% of the game is won. All right. So in Mission 200 Plus, we have Lab 1, Lab 2, Lab 3. Lab 1 student is more detailed lab in which we have live classes. So the concepts are built. The facts are memorized. The MCQ solving capabilities get developed because of E&Ds and late night PYQs. And of course, GTs are happening. Goga sir, what happens in Lab 2?
So before going to Lab 2, I will like to elaborate more about Lab 1. So Lab 1 is your first and the detailed study of the subjects. So every teacher, 19 teachers will come and teach you. So first they will you will get a video live lecture daily for 5 to 6 hours, and then you need to revise the next day before the next class. And in the meantime, you have to solve the late night PYQs also. And after the lecture is over, so you will have to appear for the test, which is called E&D. So then the teacher will discuss the test. So we have multiple revisions in the lab 1 itself. So all 19 subjects will be covered in this manner. In between there will be many GTs also. So that will be the main framework, that this is the all you need to know, maximum you need to know. So then in lab 2, lab 3, all these will be shortened down, so that at the final time you can revise. Right. So that is about lab 1.
So lab 2, let me say, Goga sir nicely explained lab 1. In lab 2, again, usually we have live lectures, and again we have E&Ds. See, if you look at the program, the lectures and the MCQ solving has been given equal footage, because you learn, but then you know or learn how to apply it. So this again happens. So roughly lab 1 is around 3 months, lab 2 is around 1 or 1.5 month, 1 to 1.5 month, and lab 3 is around 10 days. So before going to lab 3, lab 2 again live lecture followed by test and discussion. Again GTs are continuing, late night PYQs are continuing. And as we move towards the lab 2 and lab 3, we start giving mixed questions also in the late night PYQs.
So basically in lab 1, like I'm completing lab 1 in around 4 to 5 days. Lab 2 I will finish in 2 days or 1 day, depending on the time we have. So basically in lab 2, we assume that we have already taught you that in too much detail earlier. Now you must be remembering something out of that, so I can quickly do that thing. So we cover almost same thing again, but little quickly.
Goga sir, many students during interview say that they did 2 revisions in lab 2.
Yes.
How do they manage that, sir?
So simply because one is the passive recall. The teacher is teaching, you are listening. And our lecture is only for 5 to 6 hours. Rest of the time you also study at home. So when you study that, so that become another revision. So during lab 2 itself, you are getting 2 revisions of each subject.
Goga sir, what is lab 3?
Lab 3 is our marathon session. So most of the students, they get confused that they have studied, they have revised also, but now we have only 10 days, only 12 days. How to revise everything in those 10 days? So we have made that solution also, which is called as marathon. So in marathon, you will have around 10 to 12 hours class a day for 7 days. And in 7 days, we will finish all the syllabus live again by different teachers, again 19 subjects.
So students often say in the end, I don't know what to do, I'm getting anxious, I'm feeling nervous, can't concentrate. Don't worry, you don't have to do anything.
Don't worry, you won't get time to get nervous.
Just sit in the class, keep listening to the teacher, and things would fall in place. Even Goga sir, last year, even NEET PG INSCT topper said the same thing. Yes. That in the end, I was feeling so nervous, did not know what to do, so just started listening to marathons. So marathons are extremely effective. They hold your hand in the last 7 to 10 days, and they ensure that everything is fresh in your brain, so that you can go to the exam and just reproduce it. All right. So students, this is the detailed schedule of lab 1. So as you can see, we are starting with pediatrics from 18th of January. So 18th, 19th, 20th, 21st, you will have pediatric class live starting around 5 p.m. In 4 days, the pediatrics would be completed. Then we have biochemistry, similarly 4 days. And then we have test and discussion of both pediatrics and biochemistry. So in E&D, the test and discussion, 75 to 100 questions are given. You complete the test. After that, the teacher comes and takes a live class, tells you how to approach every question, tells you what mistakes you are likely to make. In majority of the question, the other options which are relevant are also discussed. So you understand that art of solving MCQs. After that, we'll go to anatomy, ENT, and this is a tentative schedule. Some of the classes may get shifted according to the availability of teacher. I think around 5th or 6th of February, we would have the result of FMGE examination. So another batch would start. Basically, both batches would then go in parallel. So all these classes which have been taken till then, they would be repeated. I would just repeat myself. All the classes that have been taken by the time the results get announced would be repeated again.
By the time the next batch starts.
By the time the next batch starts, would be repeated again. Right? So if you are somebody who is just starting with the preparation, you can start with the classes, use those 15-20 days that are there, and later on the other students would join. So roughly we would end this in May. As you can see, there are multiple GTs happening in between. As you can see, all the subjects have E&Ds, right? And the exam is on June 28th. So we are left with around 50 days for our lab 2 and lab 3. As I was saying, in around 40 days, we will complete the lab 2, and the last 10 days we will complete the lab 3. So you go to the examination with all the knowledge densely covered in your brain, and you're able to do it well. Goga sir, we have talked about the repeat classes. And yes, okay. So this is a tentative schedule of lab 2 around till June of 15th, and then we will have lab 3. Okay, sir, what about the notes?
So we usually advise the students to use quick revision notes. Okay? So there are two type of students. One who want handwritten notes. The quick revision notes will be best for them. And second, who rely on PPTs. So we are providing, every teacher is providing the PPTs, so you can utilize that also. But I usually advise to use the quick revision notes because here everything is written. The PPTs sometimes become little too much.
So as sir said, use the notes and keep on adding anything that you get to know, right? Okay, sir, what if anyone misses a class? If the backlog develops, what needs to be done?
So if a person mixes the class, obviously you will get the recorded videos you will get. You can listen to that. And in between, we have given some cover up days also. So when there is a break, you can cover during those times also.
Still, if you develop a backlog, you have lab 2 also. Say you completed 17 subjects, first of all complete 19 subjects, but say you missed psychiatry. In lab 2, you can cover it, right? So there is an option, so don't get too worried about the backlogs. Sir, is mission 200 plus enough?
100%. It's totally enough. You don't need to worry. It's more than enough. If you are able to follow the mission 200 plus, I will give in writing that you will get 200 plus marks definitely.
And we don't have to even talk about it much. Ask your seniors. Now there are thousands and thousands of people who have used mission 200 plus and got a great score. So don't believe us, ask your seniors. Sir, I have studied some subjects from some other platform. How to integrate with mission 200 plus?
So first thing, I will advise you to follow the mission 200 plus program, and I am very sure that you don't need to see anything else. Suppose you are not very much comfortable and you are too much comfortable with the earlier source, then I will say that during that subject, do from that place and minimum give E&D. E&D are must. They are non-negotiable.
I would go with the first advice that Goga sir gave. Our experience is that even if you have studied from somewhere else, the content is more or less the same. Here, the structure is very important. So say you read psychiatry from somewhere else. Sit in my class, majority of the same things would be covered. And now in lab 2 and lab 3, you would be able to study from me in a better way. Why waste that opportunity? So cover the class, do the E&Ds, it would be great. As sir said, if you really like something from somewhere else, at least do the E&Ds. Goga sir, this is for more for repeaters, but still, if somebody is stuck in 130s, 140s, what should be done and what is the usual mistake these students make that we get to know?
So most common mistake students who are stuck are not giving GTs. So that is very important. You need to give grand tests, and very important is to review these grand tests. Wherever you are making mistakes, you need to see where you are making mistakes, because most of the question in the actual exams are similar to grand tests. Now you have seen that you are getting, even in grand test you will get 130, 140 only. So you are making 150, 160 mistakes in the grand test also. You need to see where you are making these mistakes. Make sure that in next grand test you do not make same mistake. Another important thing, if you are making similar mistakes in same topics again and again, study those topics from the mission videos, and even if mission videos are not able to solve, study that from main videos also. So important thing is to clarify that concept where you are making mistakes again and again. So if you are solving your mistakes, number one, problem will be solved. Number two, there are sometimes the conceptual barrier. You are not able to understand concept and you are running behind these small courses. So this is one common thing I've seen among FMG students, कि मुझे कम से कम दे दो बस, कम से कम दे दो. The kam se kam is not the solution. I am not saying that will not come in the actual exam. That may come, but you will not be able to remember. Exactly. Because everything cannot be rectified. If you understand the concept, 80% of the things you don't need to remember. Right. And in the actual exam nowadays, the direct questions are not coming. You need to clarify your concepts. So if you are repeatedly doing only small courses thinking that you will pass, it's not a good thing to do. Right.
So Goga sir said GTs, concepts. I will just add not doing enough MCQ, yes, which MCQ is also taken care of when you do E&Ds. Goga sir, there was a problem in the mind of students that GTs take 2 days to review, and then you came up with a solution, sir. Yes. So what exactly do we do now?
So basically students were saying that I have given GT, but now 300 questions I have to see the explanation. That will consume my 2 days, 3 days, and in the meantime next subject will start. How I will do? So we have given a solution to that also. Now every GT we are giving the video explanation. So every question is explained in half to 1 minute. So that means within 3 to 4 hours, you can review all 300 questions. So the same day you give the GT, you can review the questions.
And the part where sir talks about the time is very important. Teachers have been told that you have to talk about the crux the important point of the question in 60 to 90 seconds. No long explanations. So with that, review of GTB has become much easier. I am doing internship. Is it possible to crack the exam? Students, let me answer this. Majority of the students that we have interviewed who got beyond 200 marks, all of them were, not all of them, a lot of them were interns. So they sometimes told us that they told their attendings professors that we have an exam, give us some leniency, and they would go and study. Or even when they were going to hospital, coming back by 4 p.m., 5 p.m., they would do the classes and study. And with internship, the good thing is your knowledge is fresh and you need just a little bit of an extra effort, a little bit of knowledge about what is being asked in the Indian exam, and you crack the exam. So it's not that you have to complete internship, then come back to India, take some break and then study. No, don't do that. Anyways, in FMG examination, FMG for students, it is taking 1 year more. So use your time properly. During internship only, majority of students are passing the exam. Gone are the days when the students used to struggle. Now we see 220, 240, 260 marks. You guys are doing as good as any other student. Have confidence in you, you will crack the exam. Do it in internship. This thing sir has already covered. Sir has talked about being scared of GT and what are the reasons why you should take GT. And this also we have covered. Quick revision notes must be followed with the mission program. Sir, say somebody is watching this video on 10th of Jan. So what should he or she do till the schedule starts from 18th June?
So basically, I will advise you to take 2 or 3 subjects which you feel you are very confident or you can study, which you feel interesting. Only then you can start studying, because starting is the most difficult part. So take those and listen to the last mission videos of those subjects and try to do questions of them. And in the meantime, 7-8 days will finish and mission will start. So when you subscribe to the Mission 200 Plus program, students, you get access to everything that is there in the app, main videos, older mission classes, rapid revision videos, GTs, Q Bank, E&Ds, everything is there. So from the last batch, take 2 subjects and start doing it. We have started something new called as Flashcards. So Flashcard is basically a tool which helps you in remembering things better and for a longer period of time. So what you can do is, and sir, we are coming up with FMG specific cards also. Okay. Yeah, it will take maybe 15 days or a month, but we'll come up with the FMG at least PYQ specific card. So what you can do is, in the app, go to the flashcard section, whatever subject you have studied, say you studied pharma, go into the app, go into the pharma, say sir taught autocoids and general pharmacology and say NSAIDs on day 1. So just choose those topics and do the flashcards of those topics. So what it will do is, whatever things sir had told you, whatever you had learned, same things would be asked but in a different way, and it would get imprinted in your memory for a longer period of time. So flashcard, it's not that you have to give extra time. Just 20 minutes in the afternoon, 20 minutes at night is enough for you to cover more than 100 cards. Try it, give it a shot, and you will love it. So basically what is flashcard is, there is one question that will come. So that question will not be MCQ. So they will ask like rare side effect of close-up in S. So you need to memorize. I had told you in the class, in the options you can see these 4 and then you can choose that this is the answer. But here you need to memorize what was the actual side effect. Right. So then you will click the answer, so it will shuffle and you will see agranulocytosis is the answer. So you can see that what you were thinking, whether it was same or not. So that is called as active recall. Right. Clear? And this help in memorizing lot of things. Yeah. So active recall is a game changer. And another thing is spaced repetition. So say this fact only, that close-up pain can cause agranulocytosis. Say you studied it today, but in 48 hours you are likely to forget it. If we show you the same information 2 days later, again 7 days later, it will get etched in your memory. And there is option of telling whether you know that information or not. So things that you tend to forget easily, they are repeated more frequently. Things that you know, they are repeated less frequently. But basically by repeating the same content again and again, we are ensuring that it goes deep into your memory. Another good thing is, the spaced repetition ensures that you keep on revising all the subjects together. Say you did pharmacology today and you did some cards. Tomorrow you did again pharmacology, you did some cards. 10 days later you did physiology. Now 15 days later, because of spaced repetition, you will see some cards of physiology, but some cards of pharmacology also. So your main problem and your main concern that whatever I studied 2 weeks back, I tend to forget, that gets taken care of because of the repetition algorithm. So not only active recall, but spaced repetition ensures you remember better and you remember for a long period of time. So Goga sir, everything is covered. You have live lectures, you have recorded lectures, you have test and discussion, you have GTs, you have flashcard, you have late night PYQs. I think if you blindly follow the Mission 200 Plus program, nobody can stop you from getting a score of 200.
and probably that is why this program has been so successful. So for those of you who are a part of Cerebellum already, we will be starting with this from 18th of January. If you are not a part of Cerebellum, just go to cerebellumacademy.com, mission 200 plus. Now it would not say December 25, it would say June 26, and you can subscribe to it and you can start with the studies. You can also use the coupon code Cerebellum to get some discount. I think the 6-month plan is some 25,000 or something without notes, and 1 year is like, I think 35,000 or something. You'll have to check, but it is between the range of 25 to 35 only. Goga sir, last words.
So basically what I want to say is believe yourself, believe us also, just keep on following. I have been teaching FMG students since 20 years and I know where the student can falter, where they have problems. So I am in touch with the students since a long time. So if I am saying that this will work, it will work. Yeah? So you just need to blindly follow this and get a good result, and after that we will meet at our event Cerebellum where we will enjoy.
So my last word is, if Goga sir ने बोल दिया तो जो गोगा ने बोला है वही होगा. All the best students.
All the best.